So Kissflow is a well-known company in the market for the process automation, low code, all these aspects. So currently, obviously, the market have evolved very fast in last couple of years, and everything has to be automated. So be it somebody applying for a credit card, the entire automation process attached to it, or a company want to onboard a new employee, the entire onboarding process of an employee. So all these are workflows, or all these are processes which goes through different stages. And what low code brings in onto the table is how fast you can automate these processes with the power of visual modeling, right? So the visual modeling basically ensures that you don't have to have a very tech learning curve to develop that applications and rapidly go live. What we start with is basically look at the customers' current processes, whichever they are doing it. There are a lot of customers who are still relying on a paper-based kind of an engagements as well. So start from analyzing how the current process is executed in the organization, then do a modeling around that to bring up the maturity. One, second is to improve the operation efficiency, right? So these are something which is very crucial. So do the process designing first, that's a starting point. Then using the tool set, we automate these processes and the stages and deliver to the customer engagement. So when we do that, so typically low code is something which typically comes as very highly tech components heavy. One of the things which we do differently is to ensure that business is able to adopt to this quickly. So our starting point is always business, right? Business understand what are their key priorities for them, what are the key deliverables for them, and what are the different business objectives which they want to achieve. So we start with when I earlier was talking about visual modeling, right? So the visual modeling basically gives a window for business to look at what is the different applications they want to do. So they will be able to bring the design elements to the whole process. So what are the information which need to be captured, how intuitive the user experience should be. So the entire visual modeling engagements allow business to start building those workflows, building those UI frameworks, everything seamlessly. Then once that comes to a maturity where business is aligned what they want to do, and this is something which they have already visualized on the tool, and then Kissflow allows that technology or whatever the specifications which is built by business to be handed over to IT. Then IT can really do the heavy plumbing required, which by integrating with their ERP systems, be it SAP or Oracle or whatever, and deliver a seamless journey for the process automation. Because when you look at process automation, that's something which cannot be done in an isolated way. It has to be tightly getting integrated with what are the different technologies which the customer is using, and that's precisely what we offer. So what Kissflow as a platform and the technology brings is the power of two. We are not heavily relying only on IT to deliver these engagements. We are basically bringing business as an inclusive part of this tech stack, and start the journey with the business, then allowing the IT to completely have the control at the core, which is very important. One of the things which we have done is, which we have maintained as a core capability of the platform is the simplicity, right? So simplicity is something, be it a business user want to develop certain interfaces, it doesn't need to have any kind of technology knowledge. So every user experience is very intuitive. So they can just quickly drag and drop and create the interfaces. And whatever the logical elements which need to be written, that is also not very complicated. So if a business user is someone who is using Excel, they'll be able to just define what is the logic which is needed, right? So it gives a journey path with a simplicity where business can onboard to this technology very quickly, right? So one of the things which we have monitored for last couple of years is IT tend to get overloaded from all the different business units in terms of the requirements, right? So IT get bombarded, and IT may not be in a position to define the priorities. Whereas what we are giving is business to start the journey so that IT is very clear what is business is looking at, then tightly follow the information security aspects. So we, as a Kissflow, as a technology, we are completely hosted on cloud. We are on Google Cloud. So all the different security measures, everything is handled already, but IT can IT will continue to have that control at the core. That's what we want to do, where business has a easy journey path with Kissflow. Uh, Kissflow as a technology, it offers all the technology nuances in terms of automating this engagement, etc., whatever I talked about. But what we also deliver is a complete employee engagement portal or employee engagement interface, right? So that is the interface. So as a solution, what we offer is a SaaS solution. As an interface, that's a technology interface which does everything, be it IT-driven controls and governance in terms of the role definition, user definition, what are the security measures to be put in, what is the encryption algorithms which need to be used when the data need to be stored, all these things. So it is a single intuitive experience offered where, so for example, let me just look at from a employee perspective, right? So employee can log into the portal and they will be able to see all the different activities which they're supposed to do in that day, right? Be it approving a leave for the teammate who have requested, or giving a financial clearance for a vendor to be onboarded. All these journeys can be easily done with the employee experience, whereas IT sits on the other side of the spectrum, where they have the complete control on governance model and inject their security measures and the requirements, because every organization is different. Every organization security measures are also different, but we bring in best in breed security measures as part of the cloud deployment as well, to ensure that IT gets granular level control on the solutions whatever is getting deployed on the low code.